Hey guys, Blue here, and we're going to be learning how to use listeners today in Bukkit plugins. Listeners are pretty easy, extremely useful, doesn't take much time to explain, and are used in, I would argue, probably over 90% of plugins. So definitely something you need to learn pretty much right off the bat. So we're going to open up our test plugin here, go to our source, open up our package, and we're going to create a new class, and we are going to call this mob listener, because we're going to be listening for a mob related event. So first thing we're going to do is we have to implement a listener, and then Control-Shift-O to import. And when you are listening for any event, and there is a long list of events, I'll put a link to all Bukkit or Spigot related events in the description below. But when you are listening for an event, you have to put an annotation over the top, event handler, and that just basically lets the plugin know that this is an event that it needs to listen to. You're going to have to Control-Shift-O to import that as well. Did I spell that right? Why is that not? It just needs a method underneath, I suppose. On mob spawn. And we're just going to put in the creature spawn event as our parameter here. Import all. That imported the event handler as well. And now here you can use a lot of methods within this event. Every event will have different methods specific to it, but in this case, we're going to be listening specifically for when a creature spawns, not for when an entity spawns. So an armor stand won't trigger this event, and neither will a boat when you place that. Those would be an entity spawn event, but we're specifically listening for creatures only. And we're going to use e.getEntity to get the living entity that we're working with here. So living entity equals e.getEntity. We're going to import that. Now we're going to do a basic check. If ent.getType equals entity type dot, let's see, snowman, then alright, so in this case, when a snowman is spawned, typically by building them, but it could also be if you made a custom plugin that would spawn them with a custom spawn egg, and it could also be if you spawned one in using commands, then it will send to your console the message snowman has been spawned. You can do a whole lot more than just detect whether the entity is a snowman or any other kind of entity, just by using e dot just to bring up all of the possible methods. There is plenty to look for here. Get spawn reason is a really good one. So you could do if e.getSpawnReason equals spawn reason dot, and then here you get all the spawn reasons, which there's quite a few of. So build snowman would be if somebody actually built the snowman rather than actually using a command or a plugin to spawn it in. Beehive is if a bee is coming out of a hive, it's technically spawning into the world and despawning, and it changes the block's data tags for it. Cured, that's if you're spawning, of course, a cured villager from a zombie villager. And all of these are pretty intuitive. When you click on them, if you have the Java docs linked, then it'll tell you everything you need to know about it. This is basically how you listen for an event. And we're going to put in one last thing here before the event actually functions properly. And in your main method, you're going to want to use bucket.getServer.getPluginManager, if I can type, and then .register event, and that's way more than you need. This for the plugin, and then the event itself, which in this case is mob listener. So we'll put new mob listener. Now, if you're going to be dealing with mob listener any other time, what do you want? Oh, I've got it backwards here. No? Dot register. Register events, plural. We're going to put in a new mob listener here, and then this as the plugin. And that's it. Now when you run your server, it'll automatically be listening. It has registered the events in the mob listener, and it will be listening for this creature spawn event or any other event that you put in here, which could be, just as examples, a player join event, which would be anytime a player, of course, joins your server. So then you could use e.getPlayer. You could also do e.setJoinMessage, which is where you would set whatever message is going to be when they actually get into the game, rather than just player name has joined the game. So again, look at that link in the description to see all possible events, and you can do so much with that. That'll give you endless ideas for plugins. Hope you enjoyed this. Subscribe for more.